welcome to episode 29 of the Odyssey Hour. I am your host, as always, Mike, with me, Lauren, Sam, and welcome back to the screen, Mr. Scott Shea.
Hello, Scott.
Hi, Scott.
It's a very dynamic entrance into the show you just did.
You know, maybe we should try that next week. Maybe I'll play the entrance. We'll all leave our screens and then it'll go live and then we'll just all walk in and get into our chairs.
That sounds so cool. That's really cool.
That takes a lot of coordination that I don't think I have.
You can't get in and out of your chair?
Like sitting down right at the exact time. I don't know if the four of us could do that.
Well,
we can just... You go. You say
it doesn't have to be synchronized.
Okay, I thought you wanted it to be like synchronized, like picture perfect.
Well, if you're to be synchronized,
I do too. I think that would be more cool than us just coming in whenever. But if we all wait for the because it has a countdown, and then it ceases, so just wait till 1, and then we all just start going into our chairs.
Let's try it for the 30th episode. We got to do something for it, so let's try that.
There we go.
Big 3-0. Big 3-0.
The big 3-0. That's right. But can you imagine 30 episodes next week of us doing this?
That's kind of impressive.
That's crazy.
It doesn't even seem like it either.
No,
I mean,
it
we're only doing it once. I mean, it's 30 weeks. I
thought about how much 30 is, and I'm just like, wow, 30 weeks we've been doing this?
Yeah.
I hate the coronavirus so much.
So that's 30 hours of us sitting here talking about stuff.
And we're still not done. Never going to be done. We haven't even touched certain things yet. So tonight it's a very special night. A very themed night. One that's very near and dear to my heart. And that is Paranormal Stupidity.
Stupidity is near and dear to your heart, Mike?
Yes, because I'm always pointing it out.
Yeah.
Because everything everybody does is stupid. Present company excluded, of course. So yes, that is very near and dear to my heart. Lets me step on the soapbox every day. So, but we have several specific examples that we feel, or at least I feel anyway, need some response. And because it can't go unchecked. So the very first one I'm going to do comes from a story that we found. All right, Dave found, my co-host on the Odyssey Files, found on Reddit, and it wasn't even the story, or in this case, the question that was asked, even though that wasn't far off. It was one of the comments that somebody made. Hello, Pam.
Hi, Pam.
See, I did it right this time. instead of wondering who the hell Pam is. I knew it right away. Go me. All right. So the title of the Reddit post was "How to Talk to Them." So you can already figure out what's going on here. But the question was, hey, I wonder if anyone knows how to contact or talk to a ghost. Like if it is any words I could say that could trigger a response, let me know. Question we get all.
Hello is a good one. Hello is a good start. That's like a really good word.
To get
somebody's attention.
Well, apparently he thinks that this is like some spy business. Like
he thinks it's like a code word.
I think that's exactly what it is.
It's like the secret word to get into like a secret base or whatever.
Right.
So if you a ritual to get in contact with a spirit.
Exactly.
There's a password.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you walk into Enberg Manor, you go hubbada hubbada hubbada, then they're going to talk to you. That's the code word there.
And they ooze out of the walls like green slime after that.
That would be awesome. But all right. So that was the question. So here's one of the responses. I'm just gonna read it here. I've been a paranormal medium for almost 10 years. And contrary to popular opinion, ghosts are unable to communicate with the physical world because ultimately The ghost is just an iota of the alpha sentience of the being who has passed on from the physical plane. This is why they give us signs of their presence by causing weird events such as knocking something over or tapping on something. There are other signs to look for as well, but as far as communication is concerned, the ghost can only communicate with the physical plane through noises. Also, concerning the Ouija board, the board will only work when it comes to communicating with spirit guides. The board was designed only with sentient beings on the astral plane. It is possible to talk to a demon on the board, but it is never a good idea to talk with the demon. They aren't friendly.
No.
That
just
last
no.
statement I agree with. I agree with the last statement. The very last.
That's the
statement.
only
That
part.
Demons are
Friendly.
not friendly, and you shouldn't talk to them.
Okay, you guys go ahead. I had my rant
I didn't even.
on Monday. I'm going to say it again, but you guys go ahead.
I didn't understand what this person was talking about half the time. Like something alpha consciousness, whatever. Like I'm very
ghosts are unable to communicate with the physical world because ultimately the ghost is just an iota of the alpha sentience of the being who has passed on from the physical plane.
What is an iota?
Iota, little small. Like I don't give an iota. I don't give one iota. It's just a small little piece.
Oh, okay. I googled the word. So now I know what it means. I've never heard that in my life. So
You've never heard the word iota? I'll be damned.
No, I haven't. Or maybe I did and I just forgot. But anyway, I'm so surprised that there's a person that exists that doesn't believe EVPs are a thing. Or hasn't come across the concept of an EVP before, or any sort of evidence of people asking questions and spirits interacting with equipment. I don't even know how one can get to this conclusion that you can't speak to a spirit and have that sort of dialogue. It makes no sense with me. And also the thing about Ouija boards is, one, they're fake. They don't inherently do anything. It's the ritual around a Ouija board that does things. So designed with spirits of the astral plane in mind, or whatever they said about Ouija boards is, I don't know. This is not an informed person or somebody that has actually done paranormal work in the field. This is somebody that has read Wikipedia articles on spirits, or an old book from the 70s or something that has very outdated information. Yeah, that's what I think about it.
Scott, Lauren?
I don't understand what they mean by a paranormal medium. Number one, I've never heard anybody that has any kind of abilities refer to themselves in that way, and I don't specifically know what that means. So I think they're just the whole answer just makes me think of somebody that is trying to sound a lot smarter than they actually are, and they're just trying to give off that impression. I would hope they have good intentions behind their answer, and I hope that they're trying to help this person, but they're not actually helping this person. So hopefully the person didn't listen to them. I also don't understand why a spirit can make noises, but didn't they say cannot interact with the physical world or something like that?
They can't communicate with the physical world.
But they can move physical objects to make noises in the physical world.
Absolutely.
Where my brain is hurting trying to put this into words. But anyway, I don't think this is somebody you should listen to, and I don't believe that they really have 10 valuable years in the field that they claim to. So just go to somebody else, go to a reputable source, and that person is not a reputable source in my mind.
Scott?
Yeah, like everybody else said, they really don't know what they're talking about. they're contradicting themselves. You know, they're saying if a spirit can produce sounds and move things, then it can communicate. I mean, that knocking on the wall is communicating. Just because this person apparently has never experienced a spirit communicating, so they don't believe that anybody can. So, yeah, they're yeah. They think, yeah, I don't know.
That's the appropriate response, I think.
Yeah.
Speechless.
Yeah.
They're arrogant in their ignorance.
Which are two bad things to be, especially in tandem with one another.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Scott.
Go ahead, Mike.
Lauren, since you heard my rant on Monday already, I appreciate you not trying to step on my toes and steal all my stuff.
No problem. I wanted to give you your soapbox moment.
Appreciate that. So, okay. So one, I don't think this guy is actually a medium. I think he claims to be. I think he's probably a fraud. Paranormal medium is almost, it's just redundant, pretty much. Anybody that's in the paranormal knows who a medium is. If he said, I've been a medium for the last 10 years, I don't think anybody's going to be like, I wonder what he's talking about. Especially on a paranormal subreddit. I forgot to tell you one of the greatest things about this. I'm not going to say his name, but his name is, the way he has this is Prophet blank blank. So apparently he believes he's a prophet too.
Prophet. Woof.
Yes. And yeah, Scott, I'm right there with you. A spirit can tip over things, it can knock on walls or whatever, but it can't say hello, is what this guy is saying, which is beyond idiotic, especially since I've got hundreds of different examples that prove him wrong. And it's just, I don't have a lot more to say because you guys took it all, which is fine because that's what you're here for. But yeah, I definitely think that this guy's a moron. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He spelled weird, W-Y-R-D. So that just takes away 3/4 of his credibility right there. So the only person that touched Ouija boards though was Sam. And the one thing that I said on Monday is, this guy said the board was designed only with sentient beings on the astral plane. No, the board was designed by Parker Brothers to be a game. Yeah. As Lauren said, or no, I'm sorry, it was Sam that said it. Lauren didn't touch that one, but it's what you put in it. It is a piece of cardboard and a plastic pamphlet. That's all it is. But when you add your energy, you add your focus, you add your intent to it, you are using it as a tool. Just as a hammer is a slab of metal with a wooden handle. Until you start pounding with it, then it becomes something else. So, the whole thing is stupidity in its finest. To me, anyway. But yeah, so since you guys took some of that stuff, I can't really go on a huge rant. So I won't. All right, next one. Next example. So this one came from our Instagram, our Odyssey Instagram. Now, Lauren, you're going to have to, since you're the one that's in charge of this, what post was he referring to? Obviously, it was a post about the convention.
Yes. So this was on our events page, Odyssey Events LLC on Instagram. Okay. And that's where we're posting all of our digital promo for the guests that are going to be there, the celebrity guests. And we just announced Destination Fear. So this post was a comment on our announcement, Destination Fear will be at our Duluth convention in July.
Okay. So this guy had posted, all these clowns all think the same and do the same shit. Every one of those that are celebrity guests, LOL. Am I the only one who notices this? Also, Paraunity was created during a competition during two paranormal folks trying to get ratings to win. It wasn't positive whatsoever. Paraunity means nothing as it was created through hate.
What?
That's what I woke up to yesterday morning. It was pleasant.
What are you talking about? Paraunity was created by you.
I think he's talking about the term, not the convention.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. He's just referring to the term Paraunity, which has been around a lot longer than my conventions have.
Okay. I guess I didn't know that.
You thought it was that clever. Thank you.
I don't know. I didn't know any better.
Well, now you do.
I mean, I guess I can kind of see where he's coming from in the like all these paranormal celebrities do the same shit, because a lot of paranormal shows at their core are the same, I guess, but a lot of different teams have very different approaches for how they go about doing cases, and some shows focus more on cryptids, some shows focus more on helping families, some shows focus on just going to the most haunted locations and trying to get the craziest evidence possible and provoking and doing a bunch of dumb shit in haunted locations, which you can probably tell what show I'm referring to when I explain it like that. Which also happens to be related to the topic I'm going to bring up later. I have no idea what he's talking about. Like, I don't know. I have no clue what he's even trying to say. So, and I don't really have much more to say to that. Like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about. He's just saying words and not thinking about the words he's saying.
He's got the words. He's got the best words.
He just got angry and just started going like on his keyboard. You know,
maybe his cat got on it.
Fell out of his mouth. Yeah. That's all I have to say.
Oh, go ahead, guys.
Scott, would you
Not
like
all
to
at
go
once.
first?
I don't even know what to say. It's like I'm head. So off the wall. I mean, there's not much you can say about it. I don't know where he got his ridiculous attitude from. It's completely out there in left field, and I mean, I don't know what to say about it. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Maybe someone hurt him. Maybe a paranormal celebrity hurt him, and he's just trying to get
See,
back
the
at
weird
paranormal
thing is,
celebrities.
he's been liking our past posts about celebrities, and Destination Fear apparently set him off now.
Okay.
And then now, because I see who likes our posts because I see the notifications. I've seen him like our past posts. He does not like those past posts anymore. He took it all back.
Oh wow. Okay.
He
So he's got some
unliked
beef.
the
He's got
post.
he-
some
Okay.
beef
he
with
unliked them
Destination
all.
Fear.
He still follows us though, but he unliked all the posts.
You know, I wonder if he's a lot like me, you know, where it came to, like, if you look at especially Minnesota, I wanted to have only specific kind of celeb, you know, the Dustin Perrys, the Grant Wilsons, you know, the ones that come into the field with at least some respect and integrity. You know, the Destination Fear guys, you know, mini Zach Bagans and anyone from Ghost Advent were never going to touch my conventions ever. But because of so many cancellations, I got to desperation level 1 and reached out to them. And even though that was a humongous waste of my time, they still at least are, yes, going to be there. So, I mean, I wonder if maybe he was under the same impression, like, oh, at least he's bringing in people who respect the paranormal, who, yeah, even though their shows are the same or whatever, at least they have that going, the integrity going for him. And then I brought in Destination Fear, and he's like, obviously this guy's a money grubbing prick and I don't like it anymore. I mean,
there are other people that are going to be at the convention. He doesn't just have to go see these people.
well, I don't think he's going to come and see him anyway.
But I'm just saying, it's not like you're only going there to see one team. There's a plethora of celebrities. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm confused because his overall message is negative, and yet he's saying this whole convention is negative. So again, it's a little contradictory in my mind. But I don't know. Maybe he was having a bad day. Maybe he woke up on the wrong side of the bed. But I mean, it's a convention where you're supposed to go and discuss and learn different perspectives. So maybe there isn't going to be everybody there that agrees with your viewpoint, which is part of expanding your horizons. And you don't have to talk to those people either. So we're not out here to please this one guy. Sorry. And if you really had a problem, you should have direct message the account instead of posting it publicly. So now I'm not going to say anything because all you're trying to do is get a reaction.
Even though we have said something. This is our
he's not watching this probably.
Yeah, probably not. So it doesn't show up on Instagram. So maybe you should just respond with, that's just stupid.
No.
Or no.
Thanks for the feedback.
No responding.
No, I didn't. I'm not gonna. That's all he wants, so I'm not gonna.
We don't feed the trolls.
Fine.
No,
this is why you don't run the Instagram, Mike.
I know. This is why
we make too many enemies.
This is why I'm terrible at social media. So the thing that I will say, and I honestly, I don't know what the hell he's talking about with the whole celebrity thing. Yeah, they all think and do this. I don't know if they think, but they all do the same shit. It's just in different ways. And every one of those that are celebrity guests, am I the only one? Yeah. I think what he's pretty much saying is, why is, all these people are exactly the same. You could bring in one guy and that's it. And you'd have the entire field, the entire celebrity field right there. I don't really care about that. I've gotten so jaded with these people's holier than thou bullshit of I'll get to you when, it's convenient for me crap that I'm almost in agreement with this guy. I can't stand probably 70% of the people that are coming to my convention right now because they sit there and don't do what they're supposed to do until they're good and ready. And even then, sometimes not even. So the thing that got me, and the thing that I wanted to bring this up was the whole para-unity thing. I understand where he's coming from. I understand that there are a lot of people that use that term in order to get what they want. If they want help on something, or they want you to share their posts, or they want you to like their page, they'll be like, come on, man, para-unity. They'll use that as a way of guilting people into doing stuff. And I understand that. I even understand the whole probably, I don't know what he's talking about, that they use that term to get ratings. That's beyond my purview. I just know where it came from. Now, me, on the other hand, and this is why I wanted to say it, is that doesn't mean that that's every single person that uses it. That's what they mean. I'm using it for my conventions because I am inviting everybody in. Like, the only people that I turn away are Ghost Adventures. they're just not allowed to be part of that. But everybody else, mediums, cryptids, UFOs, supernatural, people, it doesn't matter. Reiki, magicians, nightmare spray, whatever. come on in. We're all in this together. We're all under the same umbrella, and I want us all under the same roof. As I believe Lauren, was talking about, to have these collective thoughts, to get together, to share what we know, and just to come together in one place. Obviously, Vegas is going to be a hell of a lot bigger with more people doing that than Minnesota is. That's going to include horror and any genre that is just beyond normal is going to be invited, minus Ghost Adventures. But that's just personal hatred, and not for them. Well, yeah, actually for them and what they have done to the paranormal. You wouldn't have no, never mind. You would. Never mind. Not going to go where I was going to go with that. That's what I'm using it for. But I get where this guy is coming from. Although in this particular instance, he's way off base. And, and he's wrong. And what he said was by definition stupid. So, well, maybe you shouldn't be late, Kim. Maybe you should get in here right away. Just saying. Guess you're just going to have to figure it out for yourself. Sam, you said you had one.
I did. And it relates to Ghost Adventures, so we're going to have fun with it.
I will.
Do you remember... I can't remember how long ago it was. A couple years ago, they had a live special where they went to a location and they had this box device there. And then they were claiming they were going to catch a spirit in this box live on TV. In this just glass box. Just a box.
Didn't it have...
It was Trans-Allegheny, I think, is where they were.
Something like that. It was some asylum.
Well, yeah. Wasn't there like an electrical current? Wasn't it something like a Jacob's ladder that was a part of it?
I can't even remember. It was.
I think part of it was.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, well, continue.
So you guys remember that. And I just want to ask you if you think it's possible to catch a spirit in something like that, or do you think it's stupid mumbo jumbo that they created a whole TV special around this one thing and it didn't even work?
I don't even need to say anything for people to know my answer. But go on, guys.
I don't know if there's a way to capture a spirit because they're just free floating energy that's not really seemingly bound by anything less than maybe a location or an object. I don't think you can define the parameters that it's in by moving it to a box and then saying that you caught it. And it's a spirit is not something to be captured. I think that's number one. That needs to be said. I've seen a lot of what is the show? I think it's Ghost Asylum that tries to build all these different traps and tries to catch a lot of things. I don't believe in them really. I don't believe in the ethics of them, and I don't believe in them working at all either.
That's why they never did.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Sam, maybe you remember this. I don't. Did they say they caught a spirit?
I don't think so.
Okay. I didn't think they did, but maybe I was missing something.
I think we would have heard about it.
Yeah. I think the only realm that capturing ghosts exists in is the Ghostbusters movies, and that's it. Yeah.
Or Scooby-Doo, but none of those are real spirits.
Yeah, those aren't real spirits.
So if you make up a spirit, you can capture it. You can capture a pretend spirit if you want to. You can do that.
Scott, anything to add?
Yeah. Coming from Ghost Adventures, it's total BS. They're making things up as they go along, just like they always do.
Yeah. I remember watching that episode because I think that was more than a few years ago.
I believe that
was
was
a
when Nick
while
was
ago.
still on the show.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was
a while ago.
like at least 7-8 years ago, because I was still watching that time, and I haven't watched it in probably 3 years. So yeah, I don't think they were trying to do the whole gimmick thing. The thing about Ghost Adventures, which I think a lot of people either know and don't care, or they just don't know, is that they will do and say whatever they can in order to get ratings. So they will do these gimmicks. They will talk about how every single investigation that they ever go on was the scariest one they've ever been to. In which case, my only response to that is, well, then why are you even doing this? If all you're going to be is a scaredy little bitch, then maybe you shouldn't be doing this stuff. I remember, was it 2 years ago now? Something like that. They were going to do a live Ghost Adventures. We're going to do a live, and they were promoting and advertising that they were going to open up a Dibbit box live on air. They had no idea what was going to happen, when they opened up this Dibbit box. And I think on like the same day, I had like 3 different people send me like Bagan's tweets and shit like that about it. And my response to every one of them was, there's no way in hell he's ever going to open that box. No way. Because as much as I despise everything that he does, he's not an idiot. He knows how to market. He knows how to bring in the people. I can't take that away from him. He's very good at that. And because he's not stupid, there's no way he was going to do that. And so the show came, and the time came to that, and he's like, I don't feel safe doing this. And he didn't do it. He was never going to do it. The thing about all of these shows is they're always going to do these idiotic gimmicks that they know are not going to work, but they bring in the fans, and that's why they do it. I'm going to take this one step further, since you mentioned Ghost Asylum, and this was kind of going to be my next like little spin-off topic for stupidity. And that was the Tennessee Wraith Chasers had, like Ghost Adventures, they started with a documentary. They were investigating this house, this demonic house, blah, 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 blah. And their thing was a devil's toy box. I don't know if you guys know what that is.
No.
Okay, so a devil's toy box is, by all accounts, a cube. And every single side on the inside is a mirror. And supposedly the theory is a spirit, and especially a demon, because everywhere they go, it's just right back to where they were. They're unable to escape this box. And so the Ghost Asylum people were trying this out. They built like a, pretty big size one. They had it loaded with like 4 K2s and like 2 mm. I'm like, they just taped all sorts of equipment all over this box, on the outside of the box. And they tried to lure this demonic entity in, and everything started going nuts. And they're like, we got it. And what did they do with it, do you think, at the end of their little documentary?
I think I know what they did with it.
Yeah. They took it out to the forest and they blew it up with dynamite. That was the end of that. That was the end of their documentary. And they're all high-fiving each other because they just got rid of this demon. Like, dude, you're not going to get rid of a goddamn demon with dynamite. Okay? All you did was show that you're really stupid. At least to me. But to the people who don't know anything like that, that was probably very, very captivating. And was there a demon in there? I have no fucking idea. I mean, if there was, you set them free. I mean, by blowing up the box. So yeah. So here's, I guess, my question to you then. with shows doing this more and more and more and more. Are they getting to be too much?
I mean, yes, but also I understand why they're getting to be too much, because you can only do the like standard paranormal concept for so long before people are going to get bored, and you need to come up with the new thing that is going to attract viewers in. And like you said, Mike, having gimmicks like that, no matter how stupid the prospect is going to get people to watch, because you have people that know next to nothing about the paranormal, so these shows are their only exposure. So they're just like, oh, what if they do it? What if they do it? But if you know anything about the paranormal, you're like, that's not how that works. That's never going to work. But then, even then, I'm sure plenty of paranormal investigators still watch because they're just like, but what if? But what if it does work? Even on the back of your mind, you're like, no, it's not gonna, because that's not how it fucking works. So I understand why, but yes, it is getting to be too much, I think. Like, it's not what the paranormal field is, trying out those very outlandish experiments, because at the base core level of our knowledge of how spirits work, we don't know. So there are people out here doing the legwork, the groundwork, to try to understand on a fundamental level how spirits work, how they operate, trying to learn these things. And then there are people trying to create devices to capture spirits. For what? Why are you doing that? What do you think you're going to study the spirit? How are you going to study the spirit? What are you going to do with it when you capture it? Have you thought that through? Obviously not, because you weren't expecting to capture it anyway. So yeah, the shows are going to only get even more outlandish. And that's just the principle of the thing. That's how TV works. Also, no one watches TV anymore. So you have to be even more crazy to attract as much of the people that still have a TV subscription. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think right now, and I think this is probably only going to get worse, so it'll be interesting to see where it goes. But I think right now, paranormal TV is in a very competitive one-upsman kind of state because it's so saturated now. Whereas before, when it was just Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters, those were the two main shows. You only have one really other show to compete with, so you can go a few different routes. Now, everybody is on a paranormal TV show. There's so many. There's a whole section on the Discovery Plus page dedicated to paranormal TV shows. There are a lot. So you can't just throw out a really tame investigation show and expect it to do well, because you're competing with all these outlandish stuff, which is really unfortunate. I wish it wasn't that way, but that's just the way it is. It's very competitive, and people need to do something to stand out. So it kind of drives them to do stuff that to us seems ridiculous, but to somebody else that doesn't know, like, yeah, I want to watch somebody blow up a demon. That sounds really cool. Let's watch it, and that's going to get people talking. So it all comes down to getting the views, getting more money, sponsorships, advertisements, whatever it is. And you have to one up everybody else around you. That's what it comes down to, which is really unfortunate. And I hope it doesn't continue that way, but it's what it's looking like. So.
Scott, before you say anything, I also want to add to your point about how it's saturated now. Let's not forget Amazon Prime and all the little docs, all the little found footages, I actually had there's probably at least 2 or 3 dozen like just stupid documentaries that are out there that they're all have horrible evidence, or none at all. They have experiences, and they're doing shit with like Ouija boards and stuff that, as an investigator, you probably shouldn't be doing. And they're doing it to, again, bring in people. So you have all of that too. Like, you can't go anywhere. Even Netflix is getting into that shit now. Not so much like the documentaries, but they're doing like the re-dramatizations and stories and stuff like that. Yeah, it's everywhere.
Never
I just wanted
liked those shows. Like
really,
a
those are the ones I
haunting.
really.
A
I like a
haunting.
haunting.
I don't get into the dramatization of.
What about the stories behind it?
I mean, the stories, yeah, but I just don't like the like recreations for some reason. I just can't. It puts me off.
Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, I don't watch television, and that's one of the reasons I don't. As far as I'm concerned, beyond Ghost Hunters, hasn't been much of anything worth watching. And they're pretty much all ridiculous. They have made a mockery of this field by the shows that they put on, and pretty much convinced the scientific community that we're as crazy as they think we are. Because these people who put on so many of these shows are crazy, act it. So much of what they put on is acting and not real investigation. It's certainly sure as hell isn't science, any kind of scientific investigation. So, mostly it's just they're more a TV version of Ghostbusters. They're just comedians trying to entertain people. They're not putting any real effort into proving that the paranormal is real.
Funny you should say that. The Ghost Brothers, they horrible show, terrible investigators, but they have all had experiences being stand-up comedians. So a lot of people find them to be very entertaining, and that apparently is the whole idea. Yeah. There was I don't know if you know who the Klings are, the Kling brothers. You do, yeah, Lauren, because you saw Ghost Lab, and I think I've already told you this story.
Yep.
Do you guys, Sam, Scott, do you know who the Klings are at all?
No.
Yeah,
no. All right.
Yeah, I've seen.
You do?
Show.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they're big hulking, Texas dudes, and they had one of the first shows out there as well. They were right there along with Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, and Paranormal State. You could probably say that they were the big four, that started off everything. But all they did pretty much was go into each of these haunted locations and yell. All they did was provoke. Come out here, you cowards. What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. That's all they did. Mm-hmm. But my God, did they have an awesome lab. Oh, they had so much good equipment and shit. But one of the episodes that they did was at a theater where the ghost of John Wilkes Booth, who assassinated Lincoln, was supposed to be around. And they got an EVP. I'd probably say A-, class B+. I mean, you could hear what it says, saying, while they were screaming in a stairwell or whatever, that says, "I am John Wilkes Booth." And on the show, you see them in the stairwell of this theater yelling and screaming and asking for, the names and blah, 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 while the theater itself was filled with people that they just brought in to boost stuff up as if there was an actual play going on. Like that was the trigger object, you could call it. Well, they got this EVP, which they showed on the show. But they got a lot of flack for it because everybody was saying, oh, that was just somebody in the audience. Somebody yelled that or whatever, yada yada, with somebody, else. It was somebody living. The problem with it was, according to the Klings, was that they caught that EVP the night before. Like the session that they were showing in the hallway happened the night before they brought anybody into the theater. But because they wanted to show those two together, they made it look as if they were happening simultaneously. And they were pissed about that because a lot of people weren't believing their EVP now because of this outside contamination that never existed.
Mm.
So I asked them in an interview if they thought that like Hollywood was hurting the field. If when they do stuff like that, when they rearrange shows timelines in order to do whatever it is they're trying to do, is that not dangerous? And not to mention, fake. It's a lie. I was a little surprised and disappointed with their answer. They pretty much said that, like, these production companies, whatever, are there to tell a story, whatever story that is, whatever story they want to tell. And that's the end of it. That's the long and the short of it, is you really don't have a say. Whatever it is that they want to put out there, the story that is supposed to bring in the advertisers and bring in the viewers, that's what they're going to do, whether it's fake or not. I hate it. I understand it, but I hate it as part of this field because, as we were talking about, it delegitimizes us. And maybe jades me a little bit more against everybody else because there are a lot of teams out there that do the exact same thing. They post shit that isn't the paranormal and they claim that it's the paranormal. We have somebody in the area who bought a house and started advertising it as being a haunted location. What's going to stop you from doing that? What's going to stop me, if I wanted to, from putting out rumors that my house is the new Velisca?
Mm-hmm.
If I want to lie about it, who's going to tell me that I'm wrong? And I could start charging, $225 for people to come into my house that I know is not haunted. And they can walk around for a couple hours and I'll go to a hotel
It's
and swim
easily
in the pool.
exploitable. It's
Right.
very easily exploitable because there are so many things about this field that aren't explained yet.
Sadly, yeah.
I mean, that's why it's paranormal. We don't know what's causing it. We don't know why it happens. So you can point at an empty house and call it haunted because nobody can prove you otherwise. There's no fact checking for the paranormal, unless it's, a team goes in there and finds nothing and they're just like, this place isn't freaking haunted. There's nothing here.
Hold that thought. One quick question, or not question. One quick moment. Carol Osborne, welcome to the live version of this show. So no repeat for you now. Like every week, I get a message that she has commented, telling us that she's watching the replay. Welcome to the live show. I'm glad that you finally made it. Say what?
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Exactly.
Yeah. But
so
anyway,
go back to your point.
Yeah, I mean, I was basically done. It's just like very, very easy to get gullible people to basically get them to do whatever you want them to do for money. It happens with psychics. It happens with mediums. It happens with investigators in general. It happens with people who own properties. They are in it for the money and to exploit people that don't know any better. And because this field is not organized at all and so much isn't known about it, it's very hard to separate the wheat from the chaff, because there isn't no objective. You can't, there's no objective books you can read or classes that you can take that are going to give you a comprehensive education of a field that is so up in the air like ours is. So it's like, it's very, very difficult. You just have to kind of trust your gut, I guess. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, do you guys have anything else that you want to add to that?
No.
No? Okay.
It's just the unfortunate reality of things.
Yes. Yes, it is. So I'm there it is. Okay. So I wasn't going to bring this up because I'm thinking that next week on the Odyssey Files is going to be our rant episode. So Dave and I are picking separate things that we absolutely detest or hate, and we're going to do an hour where we're just ranting constantly. It's going to be amazing. So this again was brought to my attention, and this is going to be one of mine. But it blows everything out of the water. So if you've made it this far, you're not going to want to go anywhere. In fact, bring in some friends. You're going to want to hear all about this because, and you might have to tell us, Lauren, how you found the people who are giving out. I'm sorry, who have made it available for purchase a paranormal investigation license.
Oh God.
How did you find it?
So I found it on Instagram, and it was one of, I believe it was one of our followers. It's a pretty popular page based in the UK. I'm not going to name names.
Okay. So I want to make sure we're not,
Yeah.
No websites, no names.
No. But yeah, so it's a UK based page that posts pretty regularly. It has a pretty good size following. And I think I sent it to the group. It was just a picture, like a digital poster for their certification programs. And I actually went and looked through their website. They give multiple kinds of certifications and different levels. Yep. But their main certifications are paranormal investigation, private investigation. I think there was one that's like psychic, something with, there were like 10 different things you can get certified by these people in, but it doesn't explain why they can certify you, what basis they have, who's teaching, no details were given.
Shocker.
And so I had to send it to you guys because I figured I would get a good kick out of it with your guys' reactions.
Like you send them $75 or whatever, and they send you a certificate they printed out with your name on it?
I believe it's some sort of online program you have to complete.
Wait. Now hold on. We're getting because we went all the way down to the big pack, the big license pack. Mm-hmm. So there's different levels, and that's like level 4. So let's just start at the beginning here and let everybody hear all about it. So this is how this organization, team, whatever you want to call them, describe themselves at this. We are now the first and only organization, spelled with an S, not a Z, of its type to issue and regulate a license for paranormal and specialist investigators. The breakthrough license system comes with a host of benefits. We offer 3 packages to which all will cover in Section C or Section D license. Having a license will not only give you credibility within the field, but will also give you a recognized trust of investigation while attending a physical investigation at any location. The license will also act as identification to which your license number can be traced back to our database. Please note that when applying for a license, you will need to complete a license exam. Please note we do not suggest that you use our resources section on our website to help you pass the exam. There will be 2 separate exams, the Section C exam and the Sector D exam, to which you can choose which license you wish to apply for. If you fail the exam, you will need to apply to the retake option So it is advisable to read through the document that we send. Licenses can be applied for by any country of residence, meaning that you will get a piece spelled wrong of mind that no matter where you are in the world, you'll be fully regulated. So for $30, you get the exam pass certification, the license certification, added into their database, the resource handbook, PDF form, lifetime certified license holder, and you're only licensed in the country of your residence. In fact, you have to go, license pack 2, which is just $50, that your license gets covered globally. So apparently I can be an investigator anywhere I go for just $50. But
It's not how licenseship works.
Well,
It's not how that works.
It's not how anything works. You can't license somebody in the paranormal unless you're deemed to be top dog. Oh, is that it?
We should be issuing licenses. Now we should just do that.
No, because it would be just as dumb as them. We do our thing and it works for us. That I'm not going to go out there, shockingly, because people accuse me of having the ego to do so. I am not going to go out there and be like, hey, we think ours is the only way to do this. Therefore, you need to be regulated by our rules and by our way of doing things. And our way is the only way that's going to get you credibility. I haven't read this. I haven't read through the entire thing yet because I got a headache after the first 4 sentences. But Dave did. And he said apparently they also offer location assistance, which means if you can't get into a place, you can call them and they will help you get in.
Has that worked for anybody?
I'm going to say no. But then again, I don't know. I've never tried. So, I would like to get into Glen Sheen. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to be like, let me in. If you don't, I'm going to call this 1-800 number and they're going to get us in. So chop, chop, this is going to happen because I paid their fee, which means I get their location assistance program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pretty ridiculous.
Right. But again,
license means nothing.
No, it's terrible. It would almost give me less credibility.
God,
I would think.
So want to see what the exam looks like, though.
That's what Dave said. He was like, "How about we go halvesies?" And we
don't give these people money.
No, and that's why we're not going to do it.
Like, I'm so curious. Like, this is like YouTube video essay content. Like, I could make a documentary on this bullshit. Like, it's just classic, like, multi-level marketing scheme stuff. Like, it's so good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is definitely a scam, a fraud. It's nothing. You're paying for shit is what you are. Something that don't mean nothing to nobody except maybe you for however long it takes you to realize that it's crap and them because they got your money.
Mm-hmm.
So that ends another episode of the Odyssey Hour. Thank you all for joining in and for us, Paranormal Stupidity Night. So next week, our 30th episode, where we will take that next notch to being really cool with our new entrance. So,
oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, you thought I forgot about that, didn't you?
Make a new intro?
Nope, just adding to it.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully Haley will be back next week too. So, and if he keeps his word, which he probably will, we may even have a special guest next week. So, obviously join us next week at 8 p.m. Central Time. Thank you all for watching. Stay healthy, stay safe, get your vaccine if you haven't already. We want to see you back here next week. Have a great night.